side, I don't think the Republican electorate would stand for it. I don't think the Republican electorate would stand for a nominee who is currently under investigation by the FBI. I don't think the Republicans would stand for a candidate who panders and plays race politics. I don't think that the Republicans would really respect anyone who shows up to speak about income inequality wearing a $12,000 Armani jacket. I don't think that Republicans would respect someone who talks about getting money out of politics while she attends a dinner at George Clooney's house where tables cost $353,000 a table. I just don't see it. And there's so much AstroTurf out there that the media covers. It's ridiculous. There was a rally called the American Spring that was put on by MoveOn.org and a bunch of other organizations looking to stop big money, quote-unquote, in politics. And it was funded by organizations with connections to George Soros. I don't get why the left keeps getting fooled over and over again. It's unreal that people are lining up to pull a lever, check a box, fill in an oval, punch out a Chad for a woman who's under investigation for crimes based on her job as the chief diplomat of this country, the Secretary of State. An organization, by the way, who is destroying evidence with regards to Iran deal negotiations, with regards to this whole email situation. A woman who claims that she released all her emails and then PolitiFact checks it and says, well, it's only half true because she only released half her emails. No, that's called lying. You're lying when you say that you released all your emails when you actually only released half. Come on. And this is the nominee. And not only is she the nominee, she's in a position where she can win. Perfect quote from the chat room. The bottom line, people are stupid. There's a lot of stupidity going on the Republican side as well. People think that Donald Trump is just like them because he talks like them. Because he's uncensored and unfiltered. I'm sorry, I don't know a lot of billionaires. I've met one or two, possibly three, just through my political circles. I'm not like rich or nothing, guys. Don't worry about that. But I'm sorry, Donald Trump does not live his life like every other person in this nation. I'm sure that he is just as disconnected as Hillary Clinton is, walking around in his $1,000 suits, going from place to place. Yes, he does call people out. And you know what? I'll be voting for him. Because I think that we'll have a better future than we would under Hillary Clinton. I think that we'll have a better judiciary with Supreme Court nominees under Donald Trump than we would under Hillary. There's a comment in the chat room saying that Trump has been untruthful this whole time. Well, welcome to politics. All politicians are untruthful. I think once you get that out of the way, you then start paring down to what really matters. Untruthful is one thing, criminal is another. To me, Donald Trump may be untruthful. Hillary Clinton is criminal. I mean, we're talking about a legacy of scandal upon scandal. I outlined just a couple of them. The bottom line here is, folks, as we start sizing up these candidates and you start listening to them, there's going to be a lot of things to cancel each other out. But the point of this show is to point out to you that you need to be the one making the decision and not letting the media or the political elite make it for you. Because that's how you got Hillary Clinton as your nominee. And it wasn't from lack of trying. Bernie Sanders gave it the old college try. But recognize that the media said she won the nomination a day before a pivotal primary that could have led to possibly a contested convention. Recognize that the Democrat primary system is skewed in such a way that political elite holds sway over deciding the nominee, regardless of how anybody voted. And recognize the difference of how Donald Trump got here by creating a voter base, by enlarging the big tent, Whether you like them in the tent or not, they're there now and they're ready to vote for Donald Trump and follow him to the moon and back again. Recognize the difference between how each nominee got here. That speaks volumes about what this race may turn into. The race also becomes not only Trump versus Hillary. There's a third person in there. And I'm not talking about Gary Johnson. I'm not talking about any other candidate. There's a third candidate out there that really could change this election, and that's the couch. Mitt Romney lost because of the couch. Mitt Romney did not generate enough energy on his side to win the nomination. Recognize that Hillary Clinton is fighting the couch just as much as she's fighting Donald Trump. That's why when you see these rallies and you see violence at Trump rallies by anti-Trump protesters, recognize that anti-Trump protesters are pro-Democrat supporters. Recognize that anti-Trump is pro-Hillary now. When the media starts shading things for their own benefit, understand that there's an agenda there in the words that they use. Donald Trump has people that don't like him, but those are people that like Hillary. Those are people that like Bernie Sanders. Those are people who will pull a lever or fill in the oval or punch out the Chad or check the box or whatever it is that they do in these states nowadays. Those are the people that are going to be voting and being active in their voting and recruiting people for Hillary Clinton. Now, you may not like Donald Trump as being abrasive or says things without thinking or whatever the case may be. He doesn't have the temperament or the acumen to be president, but he did have the temperament and acumen to build a multi-billion-dollar industry for himself. He was smart enough to amass a lot of wealth and a lot of success and help a lot of people along the way, whether it be job creation or shareholders or stakeholders or what have you. Then ask what Hillary Clinton has created. You know what? Forget that. She hasn't had a lot of time in the private sector to really create anything. Ask what Hillary Clinton has done in government. What policies has she championed? What bills did she sign on to as a senator? What did she accomplish as Secretary of State? Give me something that this woman has done for the past 40 years of her life that qualifies her to be President of the United States. I just don't see it. I do see Donald Trump doing a lot of things and creating a lot of things in the private sector as a chief executive, and he can bring those skills to the White House. I can see him putting conservative judges on the bench. I don't see that from Hillary. It's these fine points that are going to determine who you vote for and where you stand. If you let the media tell you who's this and who's that and let them insert their opinion and try to skew your view, you'll be sitting on the sidelines like the Bernie Sanders people saying, I was had, I was robbed, I got hoodwinked because I couldn't think for myself. As we wind up the show here tonight, I just want to take a few comments from the chat room. Obviously some of my New York friends are saying, I live in New York, so it doesn't matter who we vote for anyway. I agree with that. New York is probably going Democrat, although Donald Trump says that it's going to go for him. I've doubted him on many things before. I refuse to doubt him anymore. And if he wants to make a play for New York, I don't know if that's the best use of resources, but who am I to say, don't do it, Donald? I said that he would be out by Christmas, if you remember. I said that he would be out by Valentine's Day. I said he'd be out by Super Tuesday #1. Boy, was I wrong, huh? So, you can't go by me in my opinion, right? Even though I get to say it on air all the time on great affiliates like WJHC on the Florida-Georgia line and different internet outlets throughout the area. As we close up the show, folks, this is the last week that you can vote for Behind Enemy Lines for a podcast award for news and politics. I'd love for everybody to go to www.podcastawards.com, find Behind Enemy Lines. We're the first one listed on news and politics. Cast your vote for us. Also, we're going to ask for your help in casting a vote for our friend Andy Chavarria and the Intersection for Religion and Spirituality in that category for podcast awards. You can do it every day from now until June 12th, folks. Get out there, get out the vote for Behind Enemy Lines, and we thank you for your support in getting us this far as listed as one of the top 10 People's Choice for news and politics podcasts throughout the interwebs. It's a really big honor, and we really appreciate it, folks. You know what? We've done a lot of talking tonight about Hillary and Trump. I'm going to end the show with this final thought for you. Don't take my word for anything that I've said tonight. Do not accept what I tell you. Hopefully you were entertained. Hopefully you were enjoying the information that Dan Gainor from Newsbusters and I have been giving you tonight. Hopefully you've listened to my opinion and thought about it yourself. Go out there, find the information firsthand. Do your own research. Do your own independent thinking. Hit that independent thought button, folks. That's the only way you will know for sure that the choice you're making is the choice that you want and not that somebody else wants. Go out there, find things for yourself, be engaged, keep on thinking, keep on believing, and keep listening to Behind Enemy Lines Radio, because until next week, folks, it's time to shut things down. Good night, God bless, and we are out of here. Our position has been compromised. It's time to roll out. Report for debriefing at www.behindenemylinesradio.us and look for regular communications via Facebook and Twitter at BEL_radio. You are the resistance. Behind Enemy Lines. A rock radio production. Copyright 2016. Back in 7 days. Out.